Hey guys,
Hey,
what's poppin'?
hello.
What's going on?
What is going on?
It's been like a day since we saw you guys or you heard from us.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks now.
Yeah. Oops.
We had some things going on in our lives.
Yeah.
Um, we don't have to get into them,
Yeah, we know,
um, but I do want to talk about something just
Mm,
briefly, a little, not a little, a lot important.
yeah.
Um, so this week there was like a bit of a situation having to do with Inhaler and at one of their concerts. Was it just one? I think it was because I only heard about the Manchester one. I don't know if it was at the other
So
ones.
here's the thing. Well, the Manchester one, I guess it was like really, really bad and happening a lot, but there's
Yeah,
been a lot
so
of problems at their shows over
yeah,
like
just in general.
recently. Yeah.
The crowds have been a bit rowdy and they've only ever gotten worse. And it kind of came to a head this week at the shows that they had. And I specifically heard about the Manchester show. And what happened was that some of the some of the fans got like drugged with like needles apparently and sexually assaulted and stuff like that and this wasn't like it would have been bad if it was just one person, but
But it
it
was
wasn't just
multiple
one person.
people.
It was
Yeah.
like it was multiple people, so it was even worse. Like it was just a whole it was so heartbreaking and really upsetting. And so uh, during that happening, those fans were trying to get the attention of the security, and apparently the security was not helpful at all, which
No.
is so disappointing. Like, what the fuck, you know? Um, so these fans thought that they would take to social media to try to get the attention of the venue's social media and the attention of the band to try to sort it out and get some eyes on it and like try to bring some attention and get some like safety measures put in place, at least just some acknowledgement and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And where this kind of gets messy is that the band really majorly horrendously dropped the ball. And even to this happened earlier in the week, and even
Yeah.
to this day they still have not
Acknowledge
publicly
anything.
acknowledged it, made a statement or whatever.
And they've just been
So
promoting their tickets and
yeah,
album, and
like
it's
their
just
their
like,
tickets went on sale today, and they just the only thing that they posted on their accounts were about their tour going on sale today and their album and the show that they had the other night. um
and what's crazy is if you look at like all the comments and all the replies to what they're posting,
it's just
it's just
people, yeah,
people saying, "Hey, can you guys just make a statement? Can you guys acknowledge
yeah,
this? Can you
like
say
say
something?"
something.
And I
um
just can't believe they're ignoring all of that.
yeah, and like we've talked about them on this podcast a lot. They were a band that we really liked and a band that was important to our
Mhm.
friendship and like kind of like had this interesting sentimental value to us. Even though they weren't like our favorite band, they still like meant a lot in that kind of
Yeah.
way.
I mean, even on the
So
pod, we talked about them every single episode.
yeah, nearly every episode. So we just wanted to like take a second and
Yeah.
like draw attention to that and just say like we like our hearts go out to the fans that
Yeah.
were affected, and like hearing all those stories was so heartbreaking. And I feel so like I feel for you guys if any of you are listening. I know we don't have many listeners, but like in the off chance that any of them are listening, just know that like you know we're here for you, we care about
Mhm.
you. What you went through is absolutely atrocious, and that's bad enough. And to have this like joke of a response,
For
barely,
real.
not even a response, is absolutely just so like it's so upsetting.
And it's so crazy how they're, like, promoting their shows when people don't even know if they're gonna be able to be
Exactly.
safe at
And
their
like the
shows.
thing is, even before I found out about all this stuff that had happened at the Manchester show, I was already on the fence about getting tickets for this tour because of how the crowds were at Warsaw and Irving. Like I did not like how those crowds were. I couldn't enjoy the show, you know? And it's one thing, you know, general admission shows, like, you're going to get some jumping and dancing and stuff like that. You're going to get a
Mhm.
little bit of, you know, rowdiness just because like people are dancing around and singing and having a good time. But
Yeah,
it's gotten to the point where it's like you're focused more on that, on like trying not to get whacked in the face or
than
trying
actually
like
enjoying the
than actually
show.
enjoying the show. Like, and that's where the issues, you know, arise. And what's worse is that Inhaler have a predominantly young female
Female
femme
fan base,
presenting
yeah.
like fan base. So it's like it's a little more risk there because then you have people showing up to shows and doing shit like this. So
That is so scary, though.
it's so scary, it's so sad, and it's like that's already like a fear, you know, going into those shows. But like just all the reports from that night were just so upsetting and so disappointing.
Because
I'm
when you go to
like,
a show, you expect it to be, like, this fun night where you can let
yeah,
go and be
you just
free, but
exactly,
then
and
now
you're
you have to be
seeing
on your guard, and, like,
exactly.
the fact that they're not saying anything, it just, like,
Yeah,
allows this kind of
it's
behavior to keep happening.
exactly.
'Cause
It's
basically,
just
they're choosing the side of the people who are causing harm.
exactly, you know, and it yeah, so we don't want to like just, you know, get off into a tangent, but we just wanted to
Oh,
like
yeah,
say
we wanted to
something.
address it because
Yeah,
they
we just
won't.
wanted to address it because it's like we know that we've mentioned them on the show a bunch of times, and this is something that we take very seriously and
Yeah.
that, you know, we hold very close to our hearts. Um, and I just was like, Lennon will tell you, I was literally just mad the whole week. It was just so
For real.
upsetting and
We
so
both were
disappointing.
mad,
We
like,
were both just so pissed off at this whole thing. And
cause
it
it kept
was
getting worse, like, reading more and more
literally, you
into it,
know,
it's like, "Oh my gosh."
it's just, it's pitiful. It's a joke. So we just want to, in case any of the people that were affected and just any Inhaler fans are listening, like, we're here for you guys. We care for you. We hope that you get well soon, and we hope
Yeah.
that like we send all the love and healing your way because this is just so upsetting. And you know, we hope just things are only up from here for you guys
Mhm,
because
for sure.
that was just that's just like such a sad and like atrocious thing to go through. But yeah,
So
so we just wanted
scary.
to put that out there and just talk about it because it was like a huge topic
Mhm.
for us this week and it was kind of a big deal. But yeah, so other than that, what was your week like?
My week, I genuinely I don't remember. Like, I always say that, but I'm try well, what's today? Friday?
Today's Friday.
Well, you know what? No idea. I mean, the weekend, I guess, I went out with some friends, and I've been trying to heal this week because I've been going through it,
Yes.
and, I don't know, I've been trying to be more social and just talk to people, but I feel like I haven't really done much. Yeah, I don't know. What about you?
I have had so one of the reasons why we didn't do our podcast last week was because I was um traveling for work. I had gone to Texas for a work event and I was there from Monday until this Monday, so a week.
Mhm.
So yeah, so like my I was just kind of like preoccupied with that, and um it was a lot of running around and drinking a lot of wine and um uh yeah, it was pretty cool. I've never been to Texas, so that was really fun. And um yeah, I mean, and the food was amazing.
It looked so good. You
Like
could
I
see
took a
me
picture of every
pictures, I
single thing
loved
I
it.
ate and it was just really cool. I had a lot of fun, you know, despite the fact that it was like a work trip. I really tried my best to like make the most out of it, and yeah, it worked and I was really happy and great. And then I came back and um this week happened.
Yeah.
It's been a bit of a tumultuous week, of course, because of, you know, what we talked about in the beginning, but like, you know, I was just so tired from traveling and a
Yeah.
week of like running
Being
around and
gone from home for a week, like,
yeah.
takes a lot out of you too.
Yeah, and also like it's not like it was for pleasure, you know, it's not like I was on a
Yeah.
vacation or anything. I was literally like waking up at 7 o'clock every day still and like sit like, you know, doing work shit. So you know, I was just really exhausted the whole week, and we came back and it was like a bajillion phone calls and a bajillion emails and like a whole stack of papers I have to get through. like applications I have to input and checks I have to, take care of. And of course, like our system that we do all this in was like fucking up. So it's like that made it
No.
even better. And then it's like, just a lot of stress on a lot of areas for me, which kind of sucked because like I did have such a great week the week prior.
Right.
And I was really trying to carry that forward. But, you know,
There's something in the air, dude.
yeah,
There's
something's
something in
going
the air.
on. But, I'm not going to let it get me down
No, you seem in a really good
because
mood today.
I am in a very good mood today. Would you like to know why?
I think I have an idea. Let's share it with the class.
Um, Arctic Monkeys dropped their album today.
Woo, woo.
Um, that's my background.
Yes, that's why I have a car behind me too.
Yeah. So this
Where's
episode,
Claro's feature?
people tell me I look like Claro.
What? I don't
Yeah,
think you look
people have
like
told
Claro.
me. I remember like I had posted like a selfie sometime like a couple years ago and people were like, "You kind of look like Claro." And I was
Maybe
like,
the eyelashes.
maybe I don't know. Maybe it's like in a certain pose I do. Who knows? But yeah, so they dropped their album.
Yeah.
So and the reason why we usually record on Thursdays, but we decided to record today because we wanted to make this episode all about the album.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it because we have very different
Yeah, we have
opinions.
different opinions. That's why this episode's gonna be kind of interesting.
It's
Because
gonna be kind of
normally
interesting.
I feel like we're on the same page about things. But
Yeah.
okay, I'm not gonna try to
With
be
like
too like
slightly
yeah,
slightly differing point of views. But what when we were messaging about it earlier, like holy shit, like we had very
very different
different
opinions.
opinions.
Yeah.
Um, so let's talk about it. Um, so let's start. Okay, what was your favorite song or songs?
Okay, my favorite songs, I think Body Paint is my favorite song. It was released as a single, so
It's a
I don't
great
know,
song.
like, out of all the ones on the album, let me see, like, I think I like Jet Skis besides that.
Okay, so here's the thing. I loved jet skis, but a couple of my friends were not a fan. Not that they
Really?
okay, it was like on the bottom of like they liked it, but it wasn't like they weren't huge on it. But like when I heard it, I was like, I love this so much.
Yeah, because I felt like it fit into the album and, like, what we were hearing from the singles too, the idea that I
Yeah.
had that it was gonna
Yeah.
be.
Although like I tried not to like use the singles as like a gauge for what the rest of the
Yeah.
album was going to be because I know Alex himself said so like you can't really use the singles as a way to be like, oh, this is what the album's going to sound like because all the songs are like their own beast.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think, they have like common themes throughout them that tie them together. Like to me, I know you said the opposite, but to me, it did sound cohesive, but it was like they were different enough that like they could each stand alone and like be
Yeah.
solid. Um, but they did sound like they belonged together, like there were just certain qualities that kind of, you know, um, wove them together.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? They kind of tied them
Yeah,
into each
like, I
other.
feel like they all had a similar theme of, like, reflecting and, like, looking back on things,
Yes,
and I think
exactly,
that's what, like that
exactly.
was kind of the story of the album, at least from what I
Yes,
could understand.
yes, yes,
What
yes.
was your favorite song?
Mr. Schwartz.
Yeah. You saw that
Oh
one
my
live, right?
God. I did. And I was really okay. So I saw it when I saw them at Brooklyn, and it was very stripped the way they performed it. It was just
Yeah.
Alex on the stage alone singing the song with a guitar. So I was like so curious for like a month. I was like, what is this going to sound like with the studio version? Like, I need to know, And then I heard it and I was like, this is the greatest thing I've like literally ever heard. It's like I'm not kidding you when I told you I listened to that song only on repeat for like the whole day.
Oh my
I
god.
just couldn't stop listening to it. There was just something about it. I just need to like rant about that song really quick
Do it, do
because
it. This is the
it's
time to
like
do it.
it's so like it really stands alone from the album, but not in a way that it's out of place, in a way that it's just kind of like a star to me. Like it's kind of like it's one of, if not the star of the album to me. And I think it's like it's a little bit of an underdog because like all the other songs, like listen, okay, my general consensus on this album is like it's literally one of if not the greatest thing that they've ever put out in my opinion. And I loved every single song, not a single skip in my opinion. um I feel like I could listen to it through and through, front to back, like without a problem. But I think the star was Mr. Schwartz, even though it's like kind of an underdog. All the other songs, it's like they're all kind of like flashy in a way. Like
Yeah.
there's a style, there's like a pizzazz to them, a style, like a razzle dazzle to them. But Mr. Schwartz, I think, is like the rawest of all of them. And I loved it because like there's like a bossa nova quality to it. Like the percussion is very like samba, bossa nova. Like it really reminded me of this song by an Azorian musician named if I get this wrong, I'm sorry, but this is I've never like really heard her name out loud. I've only ever read it. So her name is Cesaria Evora, and the song that like I was listening to Mr. Schwartz and I was like, this like really reminds me of this one song. The song is called Sodade, Sodade. Check it out. It's a really great song. But like it's just got like the same kind of guitars, the same kind of percussion, and like I love that kind of music. And it's kind of like obscure because it's foreign music, no one really talks about it, but it's like it's the kind of music I listen to when I like to cook.
Mm.
So like when I heard that song, I was like, oh my god, this is for me. I was like, this is my song, because it's like second to last song, which is what Bat Phone was. Bat Phone's my favorite from
Oh
Tranquility Base.
yeah.
And this like bossa nova, moody Bond, like, Cesaria Evora type song. It was like, oh my God. And that song is just like the song of all time. I don't like, it's just, it scratched my brain in a way that was like perfect. And I just can't get over it. It's just so good. After we finish recording this, I will probably listen to it again.
Yeah.
I've literally been listening to it all day. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that song is just so like God was in the studio that day, you know? But I loved the whole album. My mom loved the album. So
That's
here's the
so
thing.
cool. I love when parents love the same
Yeah,
music as
and
their
it's like
kids.
when I listened to it, I was like, "Oh, she'll love this," because it's very Bond. It's very like there's a station that my mom loves to listen to, and it's a lot of like easy listening 70s music,
Mm.
and
Oh,
it's
that's
called
totally like
yeah, it's
similar to like
called
my
yacht rock,
yeah,
because
yacht
it's like
rock.
music you would play on a yacht.
Yeah.
So when I was listening to it, I was like, oh, this is right up her alley. This is like yacht rock meets Bond meets like a little bit of Pink Floyd. Like there's some Pink Floyd elements in there, which I loved. And it was just like the perfect recipe for her. And I put it on and it was like every song she was like, oh, I love this. And like she was so like she was like, yeah, I really love this album. This is really
Oh,
good. So
that's cute.
yeah, it was really cool. And I knew she would. And there was like, I knew she would love jet skis. And she did, because that's like the
See,
yachtiest.
me and your mom, we're on the
Yeah.
same page.
Yeah. Jet skis,
My
so good.
sister Haley, she messaged me telling me how much she hated the album.
I'm crying. I don't think
She
like,
said this is the worst thing I ever heard, but she didn't like Tranquility Base either.
yeah,
So
but
it's
that's
just
the
not her
thing.
thing.
If you like, yeah, and that's fine. Like if you didn't like Tranquility Base, chances are you will not like this,
You will 100% not like this if you don't like
you
Tranquility
know?
Base.
Which also, if you didn't like Tranquility Base, grow up.
No, literally, what's wrong with you?
Like, that's like literally one of their best
But you know what?
albums.
You know what I can't believe you said to me? That the car is better than Tranquility Base.
I firmly believe it is. That's the thing.
You are my best friend, but I can't let you think that. No,
I
I'm just kidding.
do.
I'm just kidding. But I personally, I feel like they peaked at Tranquility Base.
See, I don't think so.
It's the best
Here's
album
the
in the
thing. Here's
world.
the thing. Here's the thing. You know how hard I ride for Tranquility Base, and
Mhm.
you know I love her. But there is a quality to it that comes off as unfinished. there's like an unfinished, maybe it's because the era felt
Yeah, I feel like
unfinished.
that's what I feel like the
And
album
I
is so
think
complete.
the album is so complete, and I do love the album, but now that I've heard the car, there's elements in the car that were started in Tranquility Base, and I think they were expanded on in the car in a way that it just sounds a lot fuller. And like, because I love Tranquility Base, I really do. One of my top three favorite albums. But the reason why I think the car is better is because just it's like it's hard for me to put into words. It's just more like developed, and I felt like I don't know. It was there was just like a quality to it that like it's really hard to
I feel
put
like with
into
this one,
words.
there's more maturity and everything's refined, um, with the band, and I feel like maybe
Yeah,
it's because they all kind of contributed, even with the songwriting and stuff like
exactly.
that.
That's
But
exactly it.
I don't know. For me,
There's
it
like
was underwhelming.
see, I'm so my mind is boggled by that because like
Really,
it exceeded my expectations.
really, I feel like it
It
really
really did.
went under what I was thinking, and like some of the songs to me are just a little weak and not my favorite.
See, I could not disagree more because for me, every song, it was like I'm listening to 20 years of honing a craft. Like I could
Mm,
hear the 20 years that they put into their careers in this album. And like it was like I could hear just like you said, like it did I could exactly hear everyone having a contribution. I love Tranquility Base, but it is very much like Alex's album just because of the nature of how it was made. And
yeah,
that's
that's
not a
true.
bad thing. I think for what it was, I think it fit. You know, the themes in the album, um it's very fitting because it that album is like all about, you know, being solitary and like stuff like that. That fit, you know, the way he made it and the way it sounded, that fit. But for this album, I think the fact that you can like hear each member in it, not like you could hear their instruments, I just mean like them, you know, them as
Yeah,
people, they each had more of like it was they each had more of like an equal cut, I guess. Um, you could really hear it, and it really did sound like a group project. And I think that's probably why, you know, for me, it's just so amazing because like it really it sounds like they had fun making it. Not that it sounded like they didn't have fun making Tranquility Base, but it just sounds like they had fun making it. Like it sounds like they showed up and they made something that like they just had a lot of fun making, and like it was something like a passion project, and like you could like for me, I could 100% hear the 20 years of, you know, skills and experiments and, you know, interests and, you know, expanding of music taste. I could just really hear that in the album and in each song. And I really liked how each song had its own kind of vibe to it, but they all worked together, you know? Like I could imagine this being like a movie soundtrack. I feel like that would be like something that could happen, you know? And I don't know, I just each song was like a film, you know, that I was listening to. And I got a lot of like visual, you know, very graphic visuals from it. And which is something that I love when I listen to music, and it's like I get
yeah,
a lot of cinematic visuals in my
me
head that's
too.
like it really adds to the
But
experience.
I feel like for some reason on this album, I have never had less visuals in my mind. It just did not connect for me.
That's
I don't know
crazy to
what
me.
it is, because for me, I'm a very visual person every time I listen to music.
Yeah.
But for this, I felt just so disconnected. It felt for me, I do believe they're very talented and they did refine the sound, especially
Yeah.
like coming from Tranquility Base. It's a more
Yeah.
like
It
it
just didn't
sounds like
click. It,
you
yeah,
said it
it
sounds
just
like
didn't.
20 years put
Yeah.
together. But
It
at the
just
same
didn't
time,
connect for you.
I feel like it was a bit directionless. I feel like they didn't know what they were trying to do, and it
See,
came into,
I
like
have a
that's how
complete
I feel about it. It's just,
I
like, all
like
over the place for me,
that's
because
just
some
so
of it sounds like
interesting.
something else, and then it goes in, and I'm just
See,
like,
that's
I don't
just
see a
so
story in it.
that's
You know what I
so
mean?
interesting to me because I see the opposite.
Yeah, this is the first time we're both like, I don't know, I'm
Because
the
the
biggest
thing
hater
is
for this
here's the
album.
thing, here's the
No, I
thing.
still like the album. I think the songs are very good. I think they're talented. Just
Here's the thing.
as a fan, it's not my favorite.
I just feel like Tranquility Base had a story, like a plot, basically,
Yeah.
that the album there was like an overarching kind of story that happened there. I don't think the car is
No,
supposed to
it does
have
not have that.
any sort of
But
linear
I feel
plot or
like okay,
anything.
but with their other albums, I feel like they all connect in a way. Not to say that it's a story, but they all feel like they're from the same album. I feel like you could split this album in half and put them on two different albums.
See, I don't think so.
I think you could.
I don't agree.
'Cause I feel like The Car is so different than, like, hold on, let me look up the list because 'cause I'm out of it. I think The Car is different than I Ain't Quite Where I Think I Am. I think Sculptures of Anything Goes is so different than, like
But see, I think they have qualities within them that connect them.
I don't know. I feel
See,
like it
I
could have
the
been
way
two
I
different
saw it, the way I saw it was like each song is like a vignette, and they have like there's parts in them, there's like aspects to them that, you can find in other songs which
yeah.
connects them. And it's like and I like how, they are their own creations in a way. I liked that. I really did like that, because I don't know, it was just something completely different, I think, because like you said, like all their other albums, it's like, all the songs like you said that they all
They all feel
kind
like
of
they fit
yeah, they
in the
fit
same
together, but
category.
I think even though in like with the car, they didn't quote unquote fit together, they still fit together because there was just something about each song that like it just all sounded like it belonged together. Like like they existed on their own, but like I couldn't imagine them with any other songs or whatever. Like I feel
Yeah.
like the collection that was given to us on this album, it just makes sense in my head and it's hard for me to like voice it, but it
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like makes sense in my head. My only gripe with this album,
Oh, let's hear it.
because I do have one criticism.
Oh?
I feel like it could have been organized a little better. I
In
I'm
what
not
way?
the order of the songs.
Oh, no, I agree. I think Perfect
I
Sense was
feel
weird to put
like
at the end, and then I thought that
I think
Sculptures of
you
Anything
know what?
Goes was in the wrong place.
Mr. Schwartz should have been the finale.
Yeah. No, I
I
agree
just feel
with
like
that.
it's a much more and honestly, I feel like that might also be one of the reasons why it sounds disjointed for you because the order was a
Yeah,
little
the order was
wonky.
weird.
It was a little wonky. Like it kind of threw me off a little bit the order. I I didn't mind it, but if I had to choose something to critique, it's that. I feel like the order could have been a little different and I think that would have made it make a little more
Now that
sense.
you say that, I think that is a big reason why I didn't connect to the album as much because I'm the kind of person who likes to put
Exactly.
an album on beginning to end and just, like, listen to the
Exactly.
whole
And listen
album,
to it in
and
the
for
order
me,
that it was
it wasn't
organized.
capturing me as, like
Exactly.
it it felt I think with the order, it felt disorganized, like you said, so
Exactly.
it
It
just
felt
didn't, like
disjointed. Yes, it felt like in the
that's why I
wrong
couldn't
order.
connect to it.
It
But
was
also, I
like,
feel like if they would have spent maybe 2 more years on this and spent time more together while creating it, because I know they had to make it through the pandemic and stuff, I
yeah.
feel like it would have had like, a better sound. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. I would have agreed with you, but I was watching a couple clips here and there, and apparently some of these songs have existed since Tranquility Base.
Yeah,
Like
I
they were
heard that too.
written and like Alex Turner, he wrote them and they put them together and they went through a lot of iterations before landing on this album. So it's like they may have been on Tranquility Base, but it didn't quite fit with that collection. So they kind of tabled them and then they brought them back for this. So it's like in technically they've been working on this album for like 4 or 5, maybe 6 years, if you want to count all of that. I don't think they should have spent more time on it. I feel like if they did, it may have overdone it because
Maybe.
I don't know, like the actual songs and the quality of the songs. I just think it's phenomenal. It's just that order is what's throwing me off. That's the one thing that I think is my only critique on it is the order. And I listened to it all the way through last night at midnight and this morning when I was driving to work. And like last night, even so, like I noticed it, but I was just trying to experience the songs one by one and like just really get a feel for them and gather my thoughts. But this morning, while I was listening to it on my way to work, I was actually, thinking about like, okay, what do I actually think about this? And that was just the thing that I ended up coming back to was just this order is weird, like I just and the
Yeah.
more I think about it, and then I listened to it all the way through again with my parents. I was showing it to them, and I was just like, it's odd, like I was like, I feel like they should have switched a couple around,
Yeah, the placement was just so
it
weird.
was weird, it was strange, and I feel like, that's just, you know, I can't like, it's just kind of threw me off, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel
Hey,
like
here's the good thing for me though. I've never been able to say I have a least favorite Arctic Monkeys album or had like a bottom at my list.
get out of
But now the
here.
car, no, I really think
You
it's their
cannot.
worst album.
Not when Favorite Worst Nightmare exists.
That's one of their best albums.
Please be
I
serious.
am. Well, their first album. What? No, Tranquility Base is their best album. Their second best album is their first album. Then
Okay,
it's
top
Second to
three.
See, Favorite Worst
No,
Nightmare, AM.
top three is Tranquility Base, Humbug in the Car. You're out of your mind. You're
The
out of your
car is
mind.
not for me. I'm
Yes,
saying
it
it's not.
literally is.
It's at the very bottom.
Whatever.
It's top seven. It's
Whatever.
I really don't think this was their
Not
strongest
us
album.
beefing.
No,
Not
but
us
listen, to
beefing.
me, I really feel like this is their weakest album. I feel very like you
I
said, disconnected,
I
and
could
it was
not disagree
disjointed.
more.
I don't know. I like. Hear me out. Hear me
you
out. I
you
think
can
no.
have all the you can
Listen.
have all
Here,
the
let me speak.
critiques
Let me speak.
you want,
Here's my
but
argument,
like
though.
calling it
Okay.
weak is so.
Well, no, it is weak. It is
It's
compare.
not.
It is. I feel like they could have done more. But here's the thing.
What?
Here's the thing for me. I think it's a good album. I'm not saying it's the worst. It's their worst album that they've created out of all their albums, but I'm not saying it's a bad album. You know what I mean? Because all their albums are good.
I know
So,
that.
but it and the songs are good. They have great qualities. Like I said, it does sound like mature, and it was a good direction for them to go in because it is going right off of Tranquility Base. But I just feel like it wasn't my favorite. Personally, I didn't
But
like it.
okay, that's fair. It's not your favorite, but calling it weak, I feel
But
like
it
is
is
just.
though, because I
But
feel like
it's
there's
not.
a majority of the songs of that they're good, but they're like they're not that good. Like they're not
What?
compared to some of their other songs. I just feel
What
like
are you talking
they're not.
about?
I don't know, like the car, the song, the car.
Every single song on this album is solid. They are all just such solid
I'll
songs.
tell you my least favorite ones.
I don't want you to tell
Princess,
me your
the
least favorite
car.
one.
Well, those are my two least favorite.
I not not
Maybe
being
Hello You.
it not being your favorite album, fine, whatever. I really don't give a shit, you know.
I feel like okay with the song "The Car,"
But
they could have done more. I feel like
I
it
just
was.
I just feel like you know what I just feel like
I
it's
just didn't get it. I listened
it's
to it
I
differently.
think you know what I think it is. I just feel like you really need to like give it more time because I think
I don't know.
are
I'm probably not gonna listen to it that much.
I just feel like you were expecting something very different and you're kind of like
Maybe.
well you literally said that like,
Well,
you
no,
it was
here's the
not at
thing. I
all
was
what you
expecting
expected,
well, I didn't have high expectations or any type of expectation really besides like maybe like a 70s kind of groovy sound or
which is
disco.
what it is.
But then
Well,
I
not
feel like that
disco.
well, not disco, but I felt like it'd be more like
I wish it would
uppity.
have been
But I felt
disco.
like I know, I felt like there was a lot of like slower songs I wasn't expecting, and a lot of them
See,
are
I
just like
liked that.
Snoozeville.
See, I don't find it snoozeville. I like music like
Uh,
that.
no, me
I
too.
liked
But
music like that.
and I love Arctic Monkeys, but I'm just saying if this wasn't an Arctic Monkeys album, I would never give it another listen.
See, the thing is
Besides the singles, I really like the singles. What?
I feel like well, I relate to singles too, but I
Yeah.
just feel like based on like what you've been listening to recently, you're just not in that music mood for
I
it.
don't know though, cause I listen to a lot of like 70s stuff, and I
No,
love
but not that you don't listen to that kind of stuff. I just
yeah.
mean like the music you've been gravitating toward recently that I've noticed has been a lot more like harder than this, I guess.
Maybe.
So it's like you've been kind of like in that musical mood. So it's like listening to this was kind of like slowing it down a little too much all at once.
I
Because
don't know.
I've been
I feel
there.
like I couldn't connect to the lyrics either. I feel like it was
Oh,
their
see,
weakest lyrically.
I had the what?
Yeah.
I had the opposite effect. I related to a lot in that album.
Just the
I don't know.
placements, like, I feel like I don't know, it's for me, it's just
And
it's
my
not doing
in
it.
my older age, I'm just kidding. No, but like I just feel like I okay, you know what I think the thing is? This album came at the perfect time for me,
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
but I feel like it was not the perfect time for you.
Maybe.
So
I
it's
don't know,
like
I feel like
you didn't
if
need
this
this
woulda came
album.
out anytime, I would not have liked it. I
I
just
just feel
don't like
like
this album. I'm gonna say I
that's
haven't
fair.
publicly said that I don't like it besides now, cause like, okay, well, here's the thing, I like songs on it, but as a
I j-
full album,
yeah,
it's I don't like it.
I
Like, I
just
could
feel
say it's my
like
least favorite.
you needed a different album. And
Well, I'd like to
that's
see where they go from here. I think that they should
the
do
thing
something
that
completely different
you
next.
know, and they will. That's the thing is they literally
Hopefully.
will.
Well, I was kinda
Because
disappointed that they still were, like, on the same wavelength from Tranquility
I
Base.
liked it though because it kind of closed the chapter, I think.
In
This
a
album
way,
felt like it kind of like tied up the loose
'cause
ends
it
of
put everyone to sleep. I'm just kidding, it only put me to sleep.
what?
But no, I've been talking to some other people, and I feel like I'm not the only one who feels this way, but a lot of people won't say it because 'cause they're scared.
I don't know. A lot of people have been saying it, but the thing is I just feel like see, I just disagree and I'm
Yeah.
right. So, no, I'm just kidding.
No, we
No,
can
but
have 2 different opinions.
yeah, that's what
Like,
I'm
I like
kidding.
that
I'm
you
kidding.
like it and that you like and I like
I
that I
just
have
feel
my
like
opinion because I feel like people are
I
too scared to be
just
like, "I don't like an album that everyone
oh,
loves."
they are not scared. I'm telling you that right now.
I don't know, all I've been
Not at
seeing is
all.
people being like, "This is the best album I've ever heard in my
I
life,"
just feel like
and
people
I'm like,
like it. No, I've seen people critique it. I have seen people critique it. And I have seen people be like this
"I
is
haven't
shit.
yet."
I don't like this.
Well, my friends, but I don't know, besides that, like, my small group, I don't know.
I just feel like a lot of people like it.
Yeah. Oh,
And
actually,
I
listen,
don't
listen.
think it's like people being like I don't want to say I don't because people are not afraid to shit on Arctic Monkeys. Let's be for real.
I don't know, I feel like people are. I feel like people are scared that
People
people are
shit
gonna
on them all the time.
no, but I feel like there's, like, this, like if like, the people who are, like, who care, you know what I mean? One second.
Oh,
I asked
I
people what they thought
disagree.
about the album, and I wanted to give you some of their answers.
Oh god, I don't want to hear it.
You don't?
No,
This
I've
is a
already
good one.
seen it. I've already seen it
Okay,
all day.
okay,
I've been in the
I'll put it
trenches. I've
away.
already seen it all day.
I haven't been on, like,
I I've seen it all day. I've been reading like replies to tweets about it and stuff like that. I've gotten all kinds of responses to it. Now back to beefing. No, I'm just kidding. No, but okay. Collectively, let's take a deep breath.
I feel fine. Like I'm happy you like it. I'm glad people like it.
And
But
like
for me, I'm just like whatever.
jokes aside, I really don't mind. I honestly like
No, but I know how it feels when you like you're super passionate about something and really like something. You want everyone else to
I'm
like
just
it.
really like fascinated as to like why it didn't click for you because like normally we are on like
Yeah,
the same
I
page.
don't
So
know. I
and
just it
it's like
wasn't my
you
thing.
love Tranquility Base. So I was like that's just wild to me. Like obviously there's nothing wrong with that. Like I really don't care that like it didn't click.
Yeah,
It's fine to me. I just find it funny cuz it's just interesting to me. But so why don't we talk about okay.
better albums
I
like
just
Tranquility
you,
Base.
I'm crying. No, but okay. I feel like because I was like, why don't we talk about? And then I thought I was like, oh, we've like literally said literally everything.
Yeah, we've said a lot.
Let me
Well,
think. Let
should
me
I
think.
clear the air? Because I do think it's good. I think I've said I think it's good,
Yeah,
but it's just
it's
not
a good
my good.
album. You just
No,
like stirring the pot. You
I
just
like
like
stirring the pot, but at the same time, I just like I don't know. Like, you ever just hear something that everyone's into and you're like, "I don't know why I don't like this."
no, I get it. I've definitely been there where it's like, especially when you want to like it. because
Yeah, yeah, no,
you're
'cause
like
I was disappointed in myself because 'cause I'm like, "Well, I
yeah,
think
and
this
there's
is one of
like
my favorite bands, I should like this."
yeah, or like when you hear Elements and you're like, I should be liking this element
Mhm.
because I like XYZ.
Well,
But for some reason,
instrumentally, I
it's just
really loved it, but for me, I
oh,
don't
it's
know.
an amazing
Yeah.
instrumental.
Like, if
The
the album was
instrumentals are
completely
insane.
instrumental, I think I would've liked it.
You know what? That's fair. I think, like I will say that lyrically, this is the most blunt he's been,
Yeah,
I
that's
think, in a
true.
while,
No,
which I
yeah,
feel like
100%.
is why a lot of people I have seen people like say something about that, but I just feel like he is a lot more blunt and a lot
And
more
upfront,
straightforward.
yeah.
And coming off of Tranquility Base, I just feel like Tranquility Base there are similarities, but it was such a different album in a lot of ways, especially with like the lyrics. The lyrics were a lot more enigmatic and enigma you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it was a lot more, metaphorical. There was a lot more imagery rather than like the car has listening to the lyrics and actually focusing on it. It's very straightforward, very blunt. There's no really flowery language, which I get, some people I guess have come to like expect because of Tranquility Base. But I did like that. I just feel like honestly, like it would take a lot of effort on their part to disappoint me. That's the thing.
Mm,
Is that like I've kind of learned based on listening to their whole discography not to expect a single thing except for quality because everything they
yeah.
put out is
It
so
is
high
quality,
quality.
yeah.
You know whatever they put out whether you like it or not, is going to be well made. So it's like that's the only thing I expect from them. And I especially tried my hardest not to expect anything from this album, especially since Alex was like, you really can't gauge what the rest of the album sounds like based on the singles. And also, they don't know what their own fucking music sounds like. But can we just talk about this for a second? They're so
Yeah.
funny. So Alex and Matt were like, oh yeah, there's some like elements of like AM on here. And I was like,
No, I
bitch,
did not hear that at
where?
all. Also,
This
he was
sounds
calling
like
it, like, a pop album at one point, and I was like,
he doesn't like in a lot of ways he doesn't know what he's talking about sometimes.
"No,
I
no,
think he was just trying
I'm
to I think
telling you, he never knows what he's talking about." I was
he's just saying
interviews
shit
with
to
him. Dude, I
sometimes.
had to, like, fast forward or not fast forward, but
I'm
put
crying.
interviews in fast speed because I couldn't do it. He's in slow motion, I can't.
See, I
I
don't
can't.
mind it because that's sometimes how I get,
Yeah,
especially when it's like something that I'm so passionate about. It's like so much is going through my head. I have so much to
yeah.
say. So it's just like it takes me forever to even get it out. But but yeah, he's so funny. I can't like he literally like what were you talking about, King? Because it's
He
like
does not know.
no, this is
You see
nothing.
those
And
one videos where he's like,
he's so
he's
funny.
he's
I
trying
love
to find the
him.
words, but nothing's
He's
coming.
so funny. But it's funny because everyone was saying that. They're like, what the fuck was he talking about? This sounds like nothing they've ever made. But at the same time, there are elements, in the same way that it's like they're using stuff that they learned on other albums on this album. You could hear that, there was a lot
Yeah,
of I heard a lot of like everything you've come to expect elements here and there. A lot of Tranquility
yeah,
Base was in there. I think there was a little bit of humbug in there. I heard, just stuff like that they were like taking from their own discography and I could hear that along with like the reference, like the inspirations of like and I don't know if this was their actual inspirations. This is just what I heard of like Pink Floyd and the Yacht Rock and Bond, lots of Bond, which I
yeah,
loved. And I just there was just like a lot going on in this album and it but to me
yeah.
it wasn't busy and I just really liked how it was more so like a collection of vignettes rather than like a story because Tranquility Base was such a story and the order of that album was perfect.
Oh,
Holy shit.
it's a perfect album, I'm just
It's
saying.
literally a
It's a
perfect album.
classic.
It's a perfect
But
album.
you know
Okay,
what? Even on oh, wait,
maybe
listen,
you know
listen.
what? Okay, maybe
Okay,
maybe the car is not better than Tranquility Base.
thank you.
I'll concede, but it's still in my top
Well,
3.
obviously, and it just came out, so of course you're gonna be like, "I love it." There's hype around it.
I did really, really, really love it though.
Yeah.
I'm not just being like overly hype. I literally am so obsessed with it.
But let me tell you
It's
something. I was a hater on some songs on Tranquility Base when it first came out.
That's what I'm saying.
American Sports, I still don't like that song.
That song is so good though.
I don't know, it's just like,
I just love it.
it's okay.
Once again,
But
they
in the context of the album, I like it. Like, I won't listen to it on its own, but when it's in the album, because I like to listen to it
you
in
know
its
what? I
full
get that.
glory.
That's fair.
Because
That's
for
fair.
me, okay, what considers an album good is if everything fits in the full context. Because I can, or if I can take things from it too. So I don't know. Because like with this album, The Car, I'll probably listen to Body Paint. I'll probably listen to Jet Skis and Mirrorball like on their own. I have them on playlists already and stuff like that.
Me
But
too.
I'm not gonna. I don't think I'll go back and listen to the full album again. Maybe once more, just to be like, give it another chance in like a week or two. See if I
I
change my.
have. I'm
But
just
we'll
gonna keep
see.
listening to it, you know. Um, not to I don't want to like overwork it,
Yeah, don't.
but I have to I haven't gotten a chance to add many of the songs to my playlists. There are some places that I think some of the songs would fit. I have added a couple here and there. I added Mr. Schwartz to like a bunch of my playlists. I added it to my fall playlist because it's very much a fall song to me. Um in my head, it goes along with a lot of the songs in my fall playlist. So, um yeah, so I just love this album so much. I just can't stop thinking about it. And Tranquility Base is still my baby girl. I might have to listen to it tonight.
It's well, yeah. And when once you listen to it tonight, you'll be like, wait,
Well, I don't need convincing on
no,
Tranquility
no,
Base. Tranquility Base to me is a 10 out of 10. Like
for
you
sure.
literally like I love how it flows into each other. Like I haven't listened to it in a while. I do listen to the songs like separately, but I haven't listened to the full thing in a while.
Oh,
So
so good.
I might just have to listen to it all the way through just for old time's sake.
Do it.
I've been in that mood anyway.
Yeah, me
Because to
too.
me it's very much like a fall winter type vibe to me. So I might just have to do that, and Humbug too. I might have to listen to Humbug all the way through because the thing with the car is like there was a lot of Tranquility Base and Humbug in it, or like
Yeah,
the
the
energy,
essence.
yeah, essence of Humbug rather than the sound, and then obviously the sound of Tranquility Base. So it's like I'm kind of like those are kind of like in my head now. I kind of got like the bugs in my head, the Humbug and the Tranquility Base bugs. um so now I just like I'm only thinking of these three albums. um the way it so quickly kicked Suck It and See out of my top three, this is so funny. I literally, it was like yoink, like it just fucking kicked it
Really?
out.
I think so.
I
Gonna see's better.
I love Suck It and See, but I just the car. There's just something about the car, and it's just. I think it's just because like a lot of like the I've already been in the headspace that the album is in
Okay.
already, so it's like listening to it. A lot of the songs and the energy of the songs, and you know, musically it spoke to me, lyrically it spoke to me, like Mr. Schwartz, I think just really, really, really spoke to me. Like there's a lot of lyrics in that really connected with me, and big ideas as well. And there's just like it just really it scratched my brain in a way that I didn't know it needed to be scratched.
Man, I wish this album did that for me.
Maybe it will, you never know.
I don't
Like you
know.
said, you were a hater for some songs on Tranquility Base in the beginning, and like you said, you like to be a little hater in the beginning. You
I
don't
mean,
know,
we'll see.
maybe.
But I don't know.
Hmm.
This did not hit the way I thought it would. But I'm saying I didn't like it, but that I liked like half the songs.
That's
So
what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
know.
You were like these were the songs I liked, and it was like half of this album, and I
Well,
was like,
yeah. No, I'm literally the only ones I didn't like was like the car and then Perfect Sense and
that's
then
literally 80
that's
like
it.
80% of the fucking
But
album.
no, but then all of it together, like I didn't like.
Well, we've already concluded that
Yeah.
the order was a little wonky. It was a
Yeah.
little bit of a weird order. I'll give you that. I wish it would have been ordered a bit better. Um, but yeah, Arctic Monkeys, man. I think
Yeah. I
at the
love
end of
them
the
still. I
day,
can't wait to see them again. You know,
me
I want to
too.
see this stuff played live. Well, they're gonna
That's the thing.
release that
They're very good live. That's
yeah,
the thing.
yeah.
I heard a lot of the songs, like Mr. Schwartz. Um,
People like that one a lot more live. Morgan was saying she liked that live compared to the album.
see. the
You were the
album
opposite
version,
though.
not that I was the opposite. I like them both, but seeing it live made it me excited to hear the studio version. And the studio
Mhm.
version like just kind of lived up to that excitement, I think. So I don't
Mhm.
know if I like any either like particularly more. I just think like the seeing it live, like it was already phenomenal with just him and a guitar in the middle of the stage. So it's like I was like, oh, I can only imagine how this sounds in the studio version. Like this is probably just fucking unreal. And it was. It was unreal. Um and hearing Mirrorball live was insane.
Dang, I can't wait till that happens for me.
It's so good. It sounds like the studio version, but there's different elements. Like they do things
And
some
you can feel
differently.
it in person, so I can't wait.
Exactly.
I hope they
Exactly.
stick with that on the tour.
And body paint live?
Dude, no, don't even. Well, I'm gonna see the live video because they're uploading it, aren't they? From the same
Yeah, they
show.
are. They
So
cut
I'm
some of the
excited.
songs apparently, but holy shit.
They cut some of
Those
the
songs
songs.
and Ain't Quite, I think
I
um
love that song actually. A lot of people are hating on it, but
I
I feel
like
like
it.
it's
Okay,
really
here's
good.
my thing. Here's my thing.
I didn't like how it sounded live though in the videos I heard, but then
It's
I liked
not,
the
yeah,
studio version.
it definitely, the videos that I saw, I was like not really keen on it in the videos that I saw, but when I heard it live, I liked it a lot better in person.
Yeah.
And then when the studio version came out, it's not my favorite on the album. I do like it. Like as a whole, I do like it and I like the funky guitar. I'm
I actually like how he
obsessed with the
sings on
guitar.
it
Yeah,
because it's
it's like
like
fun. It's a
different.
fun
Yeah.
song, but it's not my favorite on the album, but I do like it.
Yeah.
And it is a very like cool and different song. It's really fun, and I think it's one of the it's this a lot of the songs on this album kind of made me think of like a really like, and that was one of them, like an experimental 70s musical. Do you know what I mean?
I know I totally get that.
Like like the musical Hair.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're
It
talking about.
kind of made me
Do you
think of
wanna do
that.
you wanna hear what someone said? Someone was like, "This is like if Bond was in the retirement home."
What? I don't
I don't
hear that.
know. But I kinda get it, like a slower kinda
Yeah. This is like if Bond was cooler, in my
yeah.
opinion. If Bond was from Sheffield.
If Bond was named Alex Turner
If Bond was Alex Turner and he wasn't Bond at all.
and he's just some guy.
And he's just some dude. No, but I I just really I just really love Arctic Monkeys because in everything that they make, you can really hear how about it they are, you
Yeah,
know?
that's true.
Like you hear it and
Alex
you're
looks
like,
excited too about it. Like in the
"Oh,
interviews
he
I saw,
looks
he was
so
like
happy about it." He's like so him
he's
and
more excited
okay,
than Matt. Matt was kinda like, "Yeah,
well, Matt's just like too cool for school.
that's true.
That's just him.
True."
He's just like he's like so blasé about everything. But like here's the thing, like their interviews together have been so cool.
No, I love
Like
it,
it's
yeah.
just kind of cute, you know, like you see them and it's like it really does like make you think like damn, these four guys have
They've been
been,
best friends their entire lives almost.
yeah, like
But it's
well
like, I don't
Alice
know,
and
it
Matt
feels nice
specifically,
to
but
see new interviews and, like, new stuff with them because 'cause it's
yeah,
been so
yeah.
long.
And especially since like Alex seems a lot more at ease and he seems very proud of this project.
Mm.
Like with Tranquility Base, he was passionate about it, but there was a bit of like hesitance and like nerves there.
I
I don't
think
know.
it's because it was such a different, like,
Yeah, it was
turn.
so exactly. That's
Maybe
exactly what I'm
how
getting
people would
at.
feel. But I feel like maybe there was even, like, a lot of pressure on this album too because people were probably like, "What is it
Yeah.
gonna sound like now?"
And I think like just hearing about, you know, how Tranquility Base came about, like Jamie had to like convince him to keep going at it.
Yeah, and it felt like for
And
this
like
too, he
encourage
was
him.
saying, like, Jamie was kind of like the one to
Jamie's
push it
like
because he's like,
Jamie's
"I need to go to work, you guys." Like,
yeah, he's like, I
"No."
have a family, like
He's like, "Guys,
no,
can
but
we please do something? I'm
I
so
think it's
bored."
so cute. I think it's so cute how Jamie's kind of like the mascot, you know?
Yeah.
Like he's kind of like, let's do this, guys, you know. Nick's just like kind of there low key, like he's just kind
Well,
of
he's locked
vibes.
up.
No, he's not. Stop.
He's
They freed
changed.
him. They
Oh,
freed
you're right.
him.
They
They
said he
freed
looked too
him.
good during Tranquility Base.
He
We
got
gotta
too
let him go.
sexy.
Yeah.
He got too sexy. No, but Nick is just really quiet. So like
He's a shy little
he's
guy.
very shy. No, but I don't know, there's just something about this era. They all seem to be like in great spirits and they seem to be having a lot of fun live and a lot of fun in interviews and just like they seem to be in a very good mood and that makes it even better to me. Like I'm hearing this album and I'm hearing like four friends just have fun together and make something that they love. And I think in the long run they've had that attitude about every single album basically. Like every album, you know, if they're releasing it, they really are about it, which is something that you can hear. And in the long run, that's really going to pay off when we look back at their discography because they already have a fucking solid discography. You know,
Yeah.
there is something in there for everyone, I think. And you know, people could go blue in the face like arguing what album is best, what album is not best, whatever,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, they
but
don't need to argue anymore. I'm
stop.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm trying to make a good moment right here.
I
But
know.
at the end of it, we can all agree that every single album that they have put out is so high quality and is 100% them. And I think they've proven that you don't need to follow some formula, some money making formula to make good music and to make popular music because they are like admired by so many and
Yeah,
they have like birthed so many bands and artists.
that's
You hear a
true.
lot of UK and like artists like they list two of the main artists that I hear people from the UK list, like indie artists like our age list, is The Strokes and Arctic Monkeys. Literally every single
Yeah.
time, one or both of them are in that lineup.
You know
And
what I'm gonna say? Sorry to cut you off, but I
yeah,
was thinking, I'm not the biggest fan of the car, but what I appreciate about Arctic Monkeys is they'll make whatever they want and they don't care.
exactly. I think we can all agree that
That's what's good about them.
exactly that's what makes them such a great musical artist because
Mhm.
they really don't care what people say. Like people can go blue in the face being like they're not making that lounge music shit again, right? And they really don't care. They really don't care. Like did you see there was this clip where someone was talking about like this interviewer on like the radio was like trying to make a stink about like Taylor Swift dropping the same night as a car and Alex just like laughed like he genuinely did not fucking care. Like he really did not care because like he's not that type of person to be like we're competing. Like he's very much like a collaborative type of person and I guarantee you
Yeah.
he literally does not give a shit that Taylor Swift dropped an album the same night, you know, and like no one cares to be honest, and everyone was listening to all these albums together. Like people were going from Taylor Swift to the car and the car to Taylor Swift. Like people were just listening to everything all at once. And I just, you know, I just think they really are just constantly putting out what they want to put out, which is what makes their music so amazing because
Yeah.
you know it's 100% what they want to do and no one's going to tell them otherwise. And their 20-year career is a testament to that, you know? Like they trend on Twitter all the time. They've like broken Twitter sometimes. Like, you know what I mean? So they have that reaction because of the fact that they have remained realer than real from day one. And that's what makes people being like, why can't they just release AM again? Like, shut the fuck up and listen to that album if you want to hear it so bad. Like, please, you know?
Mhm.
But because they literally have always said, like, we're just gonna make what we want to make and we're never gonna do something twice. So, you know, deal with it. And I think, oh my God, did you see that video? I think it was either Alex or Matt that said it. They basically said that. They basically said, if you want to hear us do that type of album again, go listen to that album. They literally
For
said that. And
real.
I was like, period. Tell them. Like, I've never heard them say it out loud. But they were like, if you want X album, go
Go
listen to
listen
it.
to it
We're
because
not
it's
going to make
there.
it again because it literally exists
And they
already.
still play the songs live. So,
Exactly. They literally still play Do I Want to Know Live. They still play 505. They still play all these other songs. And they've been playing newer old songs like Potion Approaching and That's Where You're Wrong. Really holding out for Batphone and Hellcat. Um
it'll come.
it'll come. My day will come. But but yeah, Arctic Monkeys, man.
Arctic fucking monkeys.
Alex
Who the
Turner,
fuck
my
are they?
mother.
For
Alex Turner,
real.
my fucking mother.
For
Uh,
real.
it was funny. My friend, I had like written something and I sent it to her, and she was like, "Okay, but you getting writing credits on AM8 when?" And I was like, "Please stop. I've been manifesting that low key. Like, Alex Turner, call me up.
I
Take me in
wonder what the next
Clinton."
album's gonna sound like.
Isn't that exciting? I have no idea. And that is
Yep.
so exciting to me. I have no
Hmm.
idea, but they've already started working on it.
That's what's crazy.
And I'm so excited because like and Alex seems excited. And that's a good thing because I love that strange little man. That's
It's
my
gonna be
mother.
hyper pop.
Oh my god, imagine. No, it's gonna be disco. That's
I
gonna be our
mean
disco
that
album.
should be the disco one for
That
sure.
should be the
But
disco
we'll
album.
see. We'll see.
I'm holding out for a Blondie Heart of Glass
Because I
moment.
really thought this was gonna be the disco one. It had elements, kind
There
of.
are some there is a whisper of disco
Mm-hmm.
amongst it,
But
but
only a whisper, it's very quiet.
oh my god, I would fucking die if they release a disco album. I would be there. I would be so there,
I
like
know they could do it because
flares and
Alex's
all.
vocals are at that point.
They literally
He
could.
can hit the
They're
high
can't,
notes.
and they're campy enough. I think
No, for at this at this point, yeah.
at
Think
this
about
point,
how that would perform. Oh my god.
I would die. I would like literally. Oh my
Yeah,
god, I would be screaming if he like strolled out on stage and like a sparkly ABBA flared outfit, Mamma Mia looking ass outfit. I would be like, absolutely, I'm here. I'm so present for this.
yeah.
But I
I
loved the
guess we'll
car.
have to see.
We'll
And yeah,
just have to see.
and I'm indifferent about the car, but who knows? Maybe one day it'll grow on me.
TBD.
Maybe one day I'll look back at this podcast and be like, why did I say those things?
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna hate me now. No, but
Yeah.
I'm sticking by it. I just wasn't feeling it. I
And
still
that's
think it's a good
fine.
album, but it to
That's
me,
fine.
it's not.
Jokes
Well,
aside, that's okay.
it's
We're
all
still
good.
friends. Let's shake on it.
I'm glad you still like me and you don't hate me. I really got
Yeah,
scared.
whatever. No, it's okay.
Okay,
I would never hate you for this.
for this.
You would have to do a lot for me to hate you.
Okay, that's good
That's
to
the
hear.
thing. I'm
Like what?
listen. I'm not gonna sit here and divulge it. No, but like
Okay,
you really would have to like do a lot of
yeah.
shit to hurt my
No, can
feelings.
you can you like imagine someone stop being friends with someone over like a different opinion on like music? I can't.
Not like a long-term friendship, but when I was on Tinder back when Tranquility Base was still a little fresh, I matched with this guy and we were talking about Arctic Monkeys and he was slandering Tranquility Base so badly and I literally unmatched with him
Dude, I had
just
a
right
Tinder
then
guy
and
like
there.
that too.
I did not even give him the time of day we were messaging.
You're like, bye.
I didn't even attempt to try to argue with him. I just unmatched. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not inviting this negative energy into my life. If you have no critical thinking skills, just say that,
But
you know?
also, never match with someone who has Arctic Monkeys on their profile or even mentions Arctic Monkeys.
Exactly.
No, it's literally the biggest red flag. I'm not even kidding.
For guys, yeah.
For men, for women or like
Femme
presenting
presenting,
people,
non males,
males, it's cool. It means that
non
they have the coolest personality and
cisgendered
they're
males.
sexy.
Will we we just like understand them in a far deeper and more
No,
intellectual way.
true. No, I feel like men use
Men
it
could
as a
never
way to
understand him.
manipulate, but that's just me.
Exactly. Men could literally never understand Arctic Monkeys in the way that I can.
I'm not kidding. That's true.
That's literally
It's
true.
facts.
You can't comprehend the level of cunty slay yas that Alex Turner exudes.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no way, you know? You just don't get it.
No.
No no man could ever understand the lyric. I feel like the sequel that you want to see, but kind of were hoping they would never
Would never
make.
make.
No one would understand that.
No. Nope.
Exactly. Exactly. Anyways, Arctic Monkeys, my goats.
Yep. I feel like we said, like, everything we could possibly
We could,
say.
yeah, we did. There's literally nothing else
I'm
to
trying to
say
think of more, but
besides
I'm like, I don't know.
there's nothing else to say besides stream the car, and if you can and you want to, go out to your local record store
And
and
buy
purchase it.
it. Yeah.
Apparently, they've been giving away little goodies,
I saw
like
that.
little
I'm tempted
posters and
to go and get
postcards
one just for
and
the
tote
goodies.
bags. I already ordered two. I ordered like the rough trade one, custard colored one, and I ordered like the silver one, but I really want like goodies. So I don't know if my rough trade one is going to come with it because
Yeah.
that's the one that people were buying that was like they were getting goodies with, and I don't know if it's just in store or not. So I might have to like
Yeah.
pop by a record store
You
sometime and
should. I wish
get
my
it.
record stores would have something like that. I don't even think they have Arctic Monkeys. They got
Really?
Yeehaw Monkeys. I don't think
I'm
so. It's
crying.
just like,
Maybe it's like
oh, guys.
regional,
Yeah. I live in
but
Yeehaw Town. They don't know what that is.
there's like one store that, well, my usual store closed down after
Oh,
COVID.
yeah.
Not because of COVID, like people were still going, but like the owner was like, I want to spend time with my family and I can't trust anyone. So he just like sold it. But there is another place where I bought my first Arctic Monkeys record and my first record in general. So I might have to pop down there
Do it. Why not?
and see if
See
they
what's
still have
there.
those tote bags because that tote bag
You
was
do that
so,
tomorrow, just in case.
yeah, I think I will. I'll have my mom
And you're
take me.
off too.
I am.
So yeah.
So yeah,
So
stream the
yeah.
car,
And
buy
give
a
us your
CD.
opinions. See if you like
Yes,
it,
give
see if
us your
you don't.
opinions. If you're gonna slander it, don't. We don't want to hear that.
If you want to slander it, come to my DMs and we'll talk
I'm
about it.
crying. No, I mean if you have like actual critiques, yeah, but if you're just
Yeah.
gonna be an asshole, don't.
Yeah.
Um, we want a positive conversation. We don't want any arguments. This
Yeah.
is all,
It's all in good
lighthearted.
fun, you know?
Exactly. We were getting a little heated, but that was all in good fun. That was jokes, jokes aside. We
Everyone's
respect
allowed to
it.
have a different opinion. It's
Exactly. We
literally
respect each
just me.
other's.
Yep.
Exactly. So if you guys are going to debate, keep it cordial.
Yeah.
Um, stream the car. Um,
Mm.
if you're seeing Arctic Monkeys during their tour, have fun. You know,
Yeah.
we hope you have fun in the
Hope
coming
to see
tour
you there.
dates. Hope to see you there. Yeah, exactly.
If
And get
anyone
out.
comes up to me, leave me alone.
I'm crying. Yeah.
My biggest fear is being recognized.
That's low key mine as well. Like,
That's embarrassing for me.
yeah, maybe just like wait until like after the concert and we all go home to be
Or
like,
pretend like you don't know me.
yeah, and like
Ignore
comment
me.
on like our like episode that week
Yeah.
and be like, hey, we saw you guys.
And be
Like
like,
I don't want to like make a fool of myself. Um,
we're paranoid already. We don't need people
we
staring.
are. I literally take Zoloft. Um, but yeah, I mean, go check out your local record store. And if maybe drop your favorite release that came out today, October 21st. Of course, this isn't going out until
What if
tomorrow, but
everyone's like, oh my god, Taylor Swift's album was 10 times better? I haven't listened to
I
it yet. I'm
I
actually excited
saw
to listen to it.
um we can talk about this afterward because I don't want people to jump me. I didn't
But
listen to it, so I'm not like critiquing it or anything. I just saw a lot of not so great reviews on it, but
oh yeah,
I'll
no, everyone was saying it was really bad. The lyrics are bad. People were saying Lana didn't get her time on her song she was featured on.
yeah, people had
Well, I actually listened to that song. I thought the lyrics weren't so bad, but Lana should have had a
a
bigger
lot of
part.
people were complaining about that. Yeah, I saw a lot of people say that it was like disappointing because they were expecting like she's kind of like established herself as a certain kind of artist, and I guess the album fell flat on that. I haven't listened to it. I don't think I will, not because I have anything against Taylor Swift, but it's not really on my radar. I
Yeah,
don't really want to listen to it. And I'm too busy listening to Arctic Monkeys.
the car. Yeah,
The car. But I did see a lot of people like certain parts of it, but I
yeah,
overall I saw a lot of disappointment and
yeah. What's
kind of
weird about like
underwhelming.
the critiques is that it's about the lyrics, but typically, like in the past, she's had some like really good lyrics, so it's weird. But
Yeah,
then again,
and I
she could be
think
corny at the same time. She's like really, really corny.
exactly, but I saw some of the lyrics and I was like,
No,
Really,
me too.
girl?
I saw a few of them and I was
I
like,
was like,
huh?
really?
Wasn't that one like
And
everyone's a sexy baby?
oh yeah, and I just feel like,
Huh? What does that
after
fit in
put
the song?
I feel like if she put this album out before she put out Folklore and Evermore, it would have been fine, but it's because people have those albums now. They're like, what the fuck happened in
No, I'm
between?
saying because that's some of her best writing. So now compared to that, it's
Exactly.
like, huh? I guess it's because she put out like a pop record compared to like
I guess.
whatever
And
the
I
other ones
guess like
were.
the visuals kind of conjured a different energy and like people were expecting something a little different.
Like darker maybe because her
Yeah,
visuals were
I
like
saw
sad
someone
and
yeah, I saw someone mention that they were expecting like a Fleetwood Mac type of energy,
which
which
looked
I
like it was gonna
definitely
be. Yeah,
exactly. And I think she can do that, you know? I feel like
she
that
should.
should have been it. But whatever.
I think it was Jack Antonoff's fault.
I saw some critiques about that. Like they've kind of gotten to the point in their relationship they really need to like change it up a little bit
They need to
because
separate.
yeah, maybe she
Jack
needs to
Antonoff
take a
needs to
break
go
from
into
him.
hiding.
I cuz he's not a bad producer, but I
He
just feel
just does
like
the same thing over and over.
it's getting a little repetitive, you know?
Yeah,
And when you're a producer for like every single pop girly, like you can't be doing the same thing for everyone because then everyone's album's going to sound the same.
and it has been.
There you go. But anyways, enough controversial takes. I
Yeah.
don't want the Swifties on my back. I don't hate Taylor. I
No, we
think,
love Taylor.
well, I wouldn't say I love her. I don't really
I love
listen to
her.
her. I don't really listen to her, so I can't really have an opinion. But I don't really have any issues with her necessarily. I don't have any thoughts about her,
Yeah.
but she's just not on my radar. But yeah, I mean, the visuals were cool. Like the album cover I really liked, but
Yeah.
yeah, besides that, that's not what the episode's about. The cars.
Anyway.
Stream it,
In the car.
buy concert tickets,
Yeah.
check out your
Support local
local record
artists.
stores.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get a CD or a cassette or whatever, get it from a local record store. Don't get it from Target and shit like that. Support local record stores, especially
Support.
since they have some extra goodies, and some special versions of the album.
Oh, that's so
So
cool.
go check it out. Go get your record. Um, kiss
Yeah.
kiss, love love,
Love you guys. Love you guys so
hug
much.
hug. Love
Bye.
you guys, and I promise we won't take a 2-week break again. Bye.
Bye.